Hey, howdy and hello, everyone. Welcome back into another episode of T1A, Tier 1 Ascension. I'm your beloved host, Tank. Going through Week 9 waivers today and going through our first Bipocalypse. We got the 5-6 teams on bye this week. It's looking pretty bleak out there for waivers, but let's see what we can do. Let's get into it. All right. So Week 9 waivers, the Bipocalypse. Bipocalypse. First up, Chris Moore. It's going to be a bleak week for waivers. I mean, with so many teams out, the trades that just happened, it's going to be fairly bleak to see until we kind of see how things shuffle out. So a couple of these, well, all of these will probably just be some bye-week streamers for a flex position. But we're taking a look here first at Chris Moore. Brandon Cooks obviously just posted that he's just not happy. He's done covering up all the lies. So we could see some turmoil maybe happen in Houston. Might be worth it to pick up Chris Moore. He has seen targets from Davis Mills. And granted, it's not anything exceptional. It's usually like the most 4. But he has targeted it. He's targeted him in the red zone. He's targeted him in the end zone specifically. So in games that it's been pass heavy, he's seen targets. It's usually, again, like I said, 3, 4, 5 targets, but nothing exceptional. Brandon Cooks goes out, everything reshuffles, and he could be one of the beneficiaries of that. So for him, it's going to be, touchdown upside is all he's got. But you really have to bank on him getting those for you. Otherwise, the value is just not there. I mean, you're going to be hoping on a prayer to get up to 10 points out of him in a week. But on a week like this, it could be worth it. So rostered currently in 9% of sleeper leagues. Demir Bird. He has been seeing some big passes, some big passes, and he's looking like it's part of what he's going to offer going forward. So with them focusing so much on run, him having an explosion play here and there is not too unheard of. He's got 0 for though. He's getting that 1 target. This last week he got 4 targets. Other than that, he has not been getting any targets at all. So, his 1 play though is getting anywhere from 13 to 15 points because you're getting the touchdown, you're getting 60, 70 yards, and you're getting the 1 reception, so whether it's a point or a half point. But right now he's rostered in 3% of leagues, so very likely he's just somebody you can pick up real quick. Samori Toure. I feel fancy even saying it. And I probably said it wrong. You're just hoping he's going to be a target for Rodgers. It looked like Rodgers had some tosses deep for him this last game. He's only been active the last 2 weeks. I believe he was like a 7th round pick this year. And we haven't seen anything from Cobb. He's on IR. Lazard's been in and out, but sketchy. He's still dropping passes, which is, everything that Aaron Rodgers loves. Dubs still just can't seem to catch the ball. Christian Watson out again last game with injury. So, I mean, whatever's there is going to be somewhat viable because it's going to take a couple good catches, tight contested catches. Something that Toure did this last game is he cut back on a broken play in the end zone. And I think that's what Aaron Rodgers has really been looking for is like a play breaks down. What are they doing? Are they going to spots they need? Are they being technical in their routes when I do need them on their first read? So worth a shot. Rostered 16% of leagues right now, a sleeper. I'm shocked by that, but a lot of dynasty players, so we're all hoping something comes out of Green Bay. Steven Sims. So we've got Claypool heading out to Chicago now. Steven Sims was the 3rd or 4th rotation player. So he's already saw a couple touches in week 8. A couple of them were actually rushing touches. So kind of similar to what Deontay was doing, I think, just a couple end around quick plays just to see if they can get some off balance. And I think that's what they did with Claypool as well. Pickens can do it too, but I think now they really have their 2 dominant receivers, and will look to fill in with Freiermuth, Sims, and for me, I kind of like the prospect of Calvin Austin next year. Just kind of depends on how his recovery goes from, I believe it's his foot surgery. So we'll see what happens there. But this guy's going to be everywhere. He's 2% of sleeper leagues. So, yeah, if you need somebody desperately, it might just be him. Hey, if you're liking this, go ahead and throw me a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe, turn on the notifications. Love to hear comments, good, bad, likewise. And we're always going to be looking for show suggestions. So hit me up. Let me know what's going on. Let's see what we're spending on these guys. Nothing. We are spending a whole bunch of not much. $2 for Chris Moore, $2 for Bird, $1 for the other 2 guys. I mean, you're just not looking to slam any waiver money on these guys. You're going to be looking closer towards your trade deadline or after to really make sure that you're utilizing your fab from now on. So any of these guys, if you just need a player to start, or you're hoping to get some points because the other guy that you have is MVS or something, maybe these guys are worth a quick fly and drop next week. All right, Tank's Player Watch. So I'm really looking at DeAndre Swift right now with Hawk heading out over to Minnesota. This could be some more targets for DeAndre Swift. We know that in general, most targets, when they're open up in vacancy, they drop a little bit to the running back, plus all the things that he's getting targeted. He's healthy. He's had a week of playing now. So I just see that snowball keep going for DeAndre Swift's value. Ramondre Stevenson, another guy that's seeing more workload. Yes, Damian Harris is back now, but we saw that last week, and that didn't factor into anything because he still had 8 receptions. The week before, he had 8 receptions. I think he's got, 5 out of the 8 weeks now he's received more than 5 targets. It's worth keeping Ramondre Stevenson on your squad or looking to have him as an RB2 because he's going to be providing a safe floor. With that touchdown, he's looking at like 18 points for you for a week. So definitely got that good, safe floor, nice high ceiling, but it's not elite ceiling. He's not going to be 3-4 touchdowns. I just don't see that New England offense getting into that groove just yet. Jeff Wilson Jr. gets traded to Miami, back to the same system, back to the coach that was running with them. And now they've got, the Dolphins have Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. So it's the Niners backfield all over again from 2-3 years ago. These players are good. They're great veteran players, so they're not expensive. You don't even know if they're going to play next year. But the system that they're in, they are valuable because they know it. We've seen them perform, and we've seen what they can do in that offensive setting. They're looking for somebody to complement Raheem Mostert, as well as if Raheem misses a game or not, Jeff Wilson just takes that workload. They just give it to him, and they just picks it up. So I think this is a very low-key trade in the NFL that has a lot bigger implications down the line in fantasy than right now. But as far as we're talking futures, we need to look at A.J. Dillon. His utilization is just down. The Green Bay in itself is not performing, so it's hard to have the eccentric rush focus in that offense doing anything because there's nothing going. So what was expected for them to be splitting between A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones really is just kind of Aaron Jones, and not a lot is going on for A.J. Dillon. We were hoping that he would be somebody that's scoring touchdowns or working between the 40s, but it's just hit and miss, and the team is not playing super great. So, it's just kind of a wait and see. I wouldn't say go sell him or get him out of there. He's still a young, great, valuable player. Just something I'm kind of watching right now. Hunter Renfrow, same thing. We're seeing, he got rocked pretty good. That's the picture we got up there. And that's kind of delayed him coming in. Devonta Adams coming on. Waller's been hurt. So there's kind of this influx of what's going on. The Raiders in general just seem to look like they're having a hard time with the system and getting everything to go and flow. So right now, just watching Renfrow, he's a second or third flex if you got it. But right now, the upside or even the floor isn't very high for him. So it might just be set him on the bench and just wait for a little bit. See if he has a game, a comeback or two, and then it might be time to move him. Unless you really have faith that Renfrow and Carr and what's going on in Las Vegas is really going to turn around. And a former Raider, Zay Jones. The Jaguars pick up Ridley today. So Zay Jones next year probably gets bumped down because it'll probably be Kirk and it'll probably be Ridley. So those are your two receivers. And then Zay Jones will fall third. You got Ingram, you got Etienne. So it looks like this offense has finally found a great lead wide receiver. We just got to wait to see it next year. So Zay Jones, any value that you're getting out of him now, it's probably time to move him, unless you really think Ridley doesn't perform next year or that it's not going to be Kirk being the number 2. So, but that's what I think on all of those. All right, so bye weeks this week. It's a big one. It looks like 6 teams. We got the Cleveland Browns, Dallas Cowboys, Denver Broncos, New York Giants, Pittsburgh Steelers, San Francisco 49ers. So it's our first big bye week. The next one will be week 14, and that's going to be a lot of leagues last week for regular season. And a lot of teams are going week 15 bye weeks, which also brings me to another point I wanted to bring up today. Look into your league settings and check when your trade deadline is at. Some leagues, it's week 11. I've seen week 14, week 13, week 15. Also check when your playoffs start, just to make sure that it's all lined up and all set to go. But that's all I got for you guys today. Have a great one.